Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. Today is the first day of December, the start of our 12th month of the year. This is episode number 487, which means we have 13 left, 12 left before we get to episode number 500. Episode number 500 will be 2 weeks from today on the 15th of December. So that means I'm going to have to do most shows every day almost, I guess, until we get there. Just about every day. We won't be doing a show tomorrow. I will do a show on Sunday, probably at 11 a.m. on Sunday. I'll be here for the next hour, though, to answer your immigration law-related questions. How is everybody doing? Everybody ready for the weekend? Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know something fun that you're going to do today, tonight, tomorrow, or Sunday. I will be tomorrow spending the day with my mom. Well, actually, I got to get up really early because Nor is going to a softball training in Kansas City. I got to get her to Wentzville, which is like 45 minutes away, at 7:30 in the morning. So we'll be up and at them early. December is Dammy's birthday, so happy birthday, Dammy. Happy birthday this month. I hope you have a great one. So then after that, I'm going to go down and meet my sisters and my mom at the Missouri Botanical Garden. Tomorrow's the 2-year anniversary of my dad passing away. And I was just thinking today, I need to write something. Maybe tomorrow I will. I don't know if you guys ever watched the show The Wire, but Wendell Pierce is one of my favorite actors. He played a character called Bunk on that show. And Wendell Pierce's dad just died this week. And there was a picture of Wendell Pierce giving his dad a kiss on the forehead. And I remember when my dad died, just kissing him on his forehead over and over. So that's something I'll probably never forget. But that was 2 years ago tomorrow. So I'll spend the day with my mom and my sisters. We'll walk around the garden. We'll have some lunch. And then we're all going to meet the rest of the family for service at the cemetery. Not a service, just a remembrance at the cemetery. And then we'll go out to dinner at my dad's favorite restaurant. So it should be a good day. Chris is on his way to St. Louis. Chris is on his or her way to St. Louis from Chicago. Welcome, Chris. H&M is here. Michael saying hello from Salt Lake. So let's talk about the party on January 15th. Or December 15th. Amani says no belly dancers. So no. Oh, Roy's back. Good. The silent listener. Thank you. Monty says no belly dancers for the party. So we're going to have to figure out some other form of entertainment. But we are going to make it fun. I think that over the weekend, I'm going to work on a schedule. Rocio sent me a lot of good ideas of people that we should have on, like the regular crew. And just give everybody like 5 or 6 minutes to say hi and talk about the show and talk about immigration. And so I will be reaching out. We'll be reaching out to some people. If you are an OG and you're here all the time, like Vadim or Nurse Laura or Lewis from Austin, make sure to send me an email. So, if I don't already have your email, so that we can track you down and try to get you scheduled in a slot. We're going to have like old lawyers who used to work here, past clients. Definitely don't want to see me doing the belly dancing. That would be really funny, Dammy. Thank you. That's a visual that most people don't need to see, but speaking of my dad told me once that I was the worst dancer he's ever seen. So there you go. Robert, for sure. Robert's already volunteered. Robert's already on the list. We know how to get a hold of you. Nasir. Okay. All right. So I guess Juli's going to have to keep a little list, or maybe we'll make a Google Doc. Yeah. Let's make a Google Doc and open it. Can you do that, Juli, and share it with everybody? Make it shareable, make it editable. And anybody wants to come on the show, just, put your name and maybe your email, and then we'll reach out to get you on the show. It should be fun. We're going to go 5 hours. So probably from 12 to 5 or 1 to 6 on the 15th. We'll figure it out as we get closer. But we'll have a lot of different people on. We'll have people who, and actually I talked to my friends today at the Migrant and Immigrant, what's MICA project stand for? Coalition. And we're going to do a fundraiser that day for them. So we'll be, people always ask me about donating here and donating there. I don't need any donations. I'm doing just fine. But we're going to do a fundraiser for them to see how much money we can raise. We're going to do it like a telethon, and we'll actually have them come on and talk about the important work they're doing, and then we'll see if we can raise a little bit of money for them. So that should be fun. All right, so let's get to it. We have some people that have some questions, and how could I not start the show but with somebody named Jimothy? Hello, Jimothy.
Hello, Mr. Jim.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for coming on. What can I help you with?
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't expect to be first.
That's right.
My question was, my sister received DACA. I don't know if you guys do many DACA cases,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and she got it. I think 1 or 2 years after the Obama administration started it,
Mm-hmm.
and it has been renewing no problem ever since. Uh, She was able to go to university and is now an RN. So we're very grateful for that. Anyways, here recently, maybe uh, let's say less than a year ago, she got into some trouble. She um, had a boyfriend and they were together. Uh, maybe they were drinking a little bit and he decided to. There was an altercation, a verbal altercation, and he decided to call the police. Well, the police came. She spoke to them, unfortunately, and they arrested her. So, anyways, she consulted a lawyer, uh, both immigration and criminal defense.
Good.
This is in Texas, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and the uh, the DA rejected the charge because the criminal defense lawyer was able to coordinate the boyfriend to because he was willing to help. He regretted it afterwards. Uh, was able to get him to write a statement saying that he did not want to pursue charges.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, from what I understand, they said that they didn't have enough evidence, and they decided to, I guess,
Drop
I
the
think they
charge.
said, yes, yes.
Okay.
So she is coming up on her renewal for DACA, and I just wanted to ask your opinion, what we should do.
She's fine.
She's okay.
It'll go right through. Yeah.
Uh, on the renewal, she had never had it prepared by a lawyer. She did it herself uh, from the beginning, and on the renewal, it was simple, so she's done it then. Should we consult an immigration lawyer
Um,
or have
if
them prepare it?
if you're telling, no, I don't think so. I mean, you're telling me. I mean, I would get a copy of the police report. I would get a certified copy of the disposition. I'd be maybe you might want to have a lawyer help with it just because you want to be careful to answer each question correctly. I mean, we could do it and we could handle the getting the records and everything so that it's all packaged together properly. But overall, I think she's going to be able to renew her DACA.
Okay, but she would have to. I mean, uh, it's there's a somewhere on the form to disclose it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And she'll get fingerprinted again, presumably, or they'll run her fingerprints again.
correct. Yes, the arrest still shows up on her record, and
Yep.
the lawyer, her criminal defense lawyer, told her that she cannot get it expunged or whatever the process is until the statute of limitations expires.
Well, remember, a state court expungement doesn't mean that it's still not a arrest or a conviction if it were a conviction for immigration purposes. So USCIS doesn't really put much stock the in the fact that you were able to get it expunged. It's a state court system versus the federal court system, so you're always gonna have to disclose all those things. And for the rest of her life, if anyone asks her, "Have you ever been arrested?" she has to say yes, even if it's expunged.
Yes, yes, of course. We were uh, uh, we've heard you say that that she has to disclose to immigration uh, forever, but we were thinking more about like for a job.
Yeah. So that's fine. You guys go ahead and do that. Yep. Thanks, Timothy. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Good luck to you and your sister. See you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Let's go to Jamal is back. We see Jamal all the time in the comments, but we haven't seen you face to face in a while. How are you doing, my friend? You getting ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm just getting ready. It's time is just flying by quick.
You always said December this, December that, and I was like, man, December seems a long way away, and now here we are. You're right.
It's hey, so what I was asking about was I saw on some of your videos about there's a thing called too much evidence to submit, and there's a thing called too little evidence. So my question is, what's the balance as far as how much evidence to provide?
Great question, and it's going to make a great topic for a video. Hooli, please. Too much or too little? So I've really only felt once in my whole life that there was too much. I had a same-sex couple, American white fellow and someone from the Middle East, and the American was really, really nervous that the case was going to get. Even when we went to citizenship on the 3-year rule, he was still worried that his husband wasn't going to be able to get this taken care of. So I swear to God, we sent in this much stuff. It was crazy. So I don't think generally you can get to too much evidence, especially you're not even married yet. So just by definition, you probably can't have too much evidence, Jamal. Even if you've been together for 5 years. I mean, you're living here. So I think that you should err on the side of too much.
Okay. All right. That's all I had.
All right. When are you going?
I leave December 20th.
Okay.
And the wedding is like December 23rd over there, and they're talking like 225 guests.
Nice.
So
that'll be great. All right. Well, keep us posted and send us pictures. Okay.
Certainly will.
See you, buddy. All right. All right. Check this out. Nick just got the work permit today. How about that? Nick, we'd love to know how long it took. Let us know in the comments. All right, Islam is back. Islam was just here the other day. Hey, Islam.
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. So I was just gonna make it quick because I know you have a lot of people who want to talk to you. So there's one more question that I forgot to ask you yesterday. I hope. Do you remember my story or no?
You're a doctor. You are a U.S. citizen. You're going back. Green card holder, right? Green card holder. That was a thing. And,
right.
and your fiance or girlfriend is overseas. She's thinking about getting an F1.
My wife. Yes.
Oh, your wife. Right. Okay. Yeah. I got most of it. Okay. Yeah. Your wife. Right.
Yes. So we got married a few weeks ago, and
right. I remember. I was wishing you had waited to get married. That's right. I remember.
Yes. So there's a quick question. Yesterday when I was talking to you, you kind of recommended that I, apply for a green card and hope for the, processing time to get a little faster, hopefully in the future. But at the same time, you said, I might try with the F1. Maybe it's going to speed up with the process. So kind of spoke with my wife last night. And then there is something that I want to get your opinion on, which is her and I work in the field of neurology, and her and I worked on a research topic on the treatment of stroke, and that got published in an international journal. And she received actually an invitation from I don't know if I should say the name or no, but from
XYZ.
Yeah, from a big association in America to kind of come and deliver a 30-minute presentation about the new treatment for stroke that we come up with in that article. So I just wanted to ask you, do you think that and they actually sent her a letter for the U.S. Embassy in Cairo to kind of get her a visa, a tourist visa, to just come and deliver that presentation. So I think all my question is, do you recommend that we go through the F1 avenue, or we just go with the tourist visa avenue, considering her situation?
I think that's pretty darn good. I mean, if you got it's always going to be subject to the whims of the officer. And even with a great letter from a great institution or organization, the number one question is, do we believe she's going to come back home? I think she probably has a better chance if she's enough if she's far enough in her academic career to be publishing papers, then they're probably not going to believe it if she says, I'm coming to go to community college, or I'm coming maybe to get a master's or something. But I think that I would go with that route if that's something that, if there's an actual date on the conference and she can get her visa interview before then, I think all that would be good.
Okay, and that's going to be she actually has a history of publishing articles. This is not her first article, and since we got married, we've been kind of helping each other out because I work in research, she works in research. She's a pharmacist, she's not an MD, but she's in the field. So yeah, so you would say that this would be kind of a better option than the F1.
As long as it's a legit offer that's not based on some friendship you have with the people at that organization.
No, they're in different state. I'm in New York. The institution is in Boston.
I'd say go for it. That sounds pretty good.
I got you. Okay.
And but remember, don't underestimate the importance of showing why she's going to go back.
Gotcha. Yeah. She has a very stable job in Egypt. She's a professor. So we're going to work in that, hopefully.
Thanks, Islam. See you, buddy.
All right, buddy. Can I ask one more question?
Make it quick.
All right. I just wanted to ask you, I'm going to be applying for my citizenship in a few months. I just want you to be a lawyer. I got use the WhatsApp phone number. Can I use the email instead? Because that was not pretty responsive, I would say. Just reach you.
Yeah, just send that email to info@. I'll get it over the weekend.
I got you. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy. Bye, Islam. See you, bud. All right. Nick says the work card came 2 months total, which was filed with a adjustment of status. So that's pretty darn good. That's pretty quick. Okay, so everyone's happy for Nick. Let's see what Julio has to say. Hi, Julio. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how are you, Jim?
I'm great.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Great. So I know you remember me, but I supposed to have my interview for family petition Wednesday at 10 a.m. in Charlotte. Well, they called me 2 hours earlier to cancel it, unfortunately.
Why? The file wasn't there?
They said something about the building. I don't know. The lady that called me, and it seems like she was somewhere in, I don't know, in China or something, because that she sounded so far away that I barely understood, and she was so quick and flat out, and I was just petrified. I was like, okay, what else I had to say? And I didn't know what's going to happen, but today I noticed that they actually scheduled my interview. I just get off the phone with USCIS, and they told me my new interview is going to be January 18. So it's good, I guess.
That's
at
not
least
bad.
No bad. They didn't forget about me. And I was going to ask you before the phone call. This is a sarcastic question, right? My wife has already got a green card, and I was going to ask you, can she ask me quicker than this? Because this interview is because my daughter is petitioning for me. I was trying to be sarcastic about that. If my wife probably will petition for me instead of all these.
That's a 4-year wait. So I sure as hell hope your daughter's case goes faster.
Yeah. Oh, 4 years. Wow. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay. And another topic. This is something quick. This is about my daughter. She had DACA. Unfortunately, her EAD expires December 15. She sent her renewal on September 1st. They were taking all these loans. She's really anxious and concerned. And at her job, somebody told her, without basis, of course, that they could probably help her with work visa. What is your input about that?
So, just real quick, everybody who has DACA and has an EAD off DACA needs to apply for renewal 6 months early, not 2 months early. So this is the second person this week. I had someone from a local employer, a law firm, try to refer me a fellow who actually today was his last day on his EAD, and he didn't apply until like September 15th. So you've got to do 6 months before to get that EAD, just because there's an automatic renewal right now for a lot of EADs, but for some reason not the DACA EAD. Okay,
Right,
so
right.
so what was your question though about that?
Yeah. So someone at work
Oh
told
yeah,
her
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're in the United States and okay, so we all have to remember that DACA is not any kind of legal status.
Right.
All the DACA really is that the president has said, and it started with Obama, that we're going to be careful about how we prioritize who we're going to deport. We're not going to deport people who came as young people and were not involved in coming, and that they can get a work card and not get deported, right? So that's all DACA is. So DACA is not actual valid immigration status for purposes of changing to another visa status. So even though she's protected under the law, she's really out of status, right?
Right.
So you can't go from out of status to in status. There's only one way to do it, and that's to marry a U.S. citizen.
Understood. I thought so. I was really clear with her. I said I don't think they know what they're talking about because you technically have no legal status here,
Yep.
and I guess you couldn't. They could just probably say out of empathy, but they can just say I will probably help you. The legal
It's,
bases are out of place right there.
it's exactly right. Thanks, Julio.
Thank you very much, Jim. Talk to you later. I'll keep you posted.
Thank you, my man. See ya. So
Bye-bye.
January 18th, right?
Yes.
Good job. Let us know.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye, buddy. All right, let's go over to out of status for 30 years. Hello, Pumpkin.
Hey, Jim, can you hear me okay?
I hear you just fine. Thank you. Go right ahead.
Thanks for taking my call, and congratulations on nearing your 500 episodes. That's super exciting.
I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna make it fun.
Awesome. So I'm going to give you some rapid fire background facts on my case, and then I have a few quick questions for you.
Sounds great.
So I came into the U.S. My mother brought me in back in 1990. So I've been in here for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
We came in on a B1, B2 visa. We came in with inspection at an airport. Ever since then, I've stayed here, never left the U.S., but I've been out of status for the 30 plus years since then.
And no trips out since?
No.
Okay.
So I went to college, graduated college, and now after being married for 4 years, I'm looking to adjust status via marriage with a U.S. citizen. And we've been together for over 10 years. We've been living together for 5 years. We've been married for 4 years. We've just got our application packet together. I feel pretty confident about the amount of evidence we put together. On your scale of like 1 to 10, I think we're a pretty solid 8.
4
really
years.
focused.
4 years, bro. That's
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a lot of primary evidence: lease, landlord letters, healthcare, dental care, retirement, life insurance, renter's insurance, primary authoritative evidence.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pile on to the DACA plate here, because I've been in the DACA program for the 11 or so years since it started back in 2012.
Okay.
How does DACA play a part in my case? Does it help my case? Does it not help my case? I've had it for 11 years. I've had work authorization for the 11 years. Does that help? Does it not really help? What's your opinion on that?
Let me ask you a couple of questions. One is, your spouse is a U.S. citizen, right?
That's right.
And 2, you have proof of your valid entry into the United States?
Yeah, I have my original passport in the I-94.
And you've scanned that in color somewhere safe, because that's the most valuable piece of property that you own in your whole life?
That's correct.
Okay, good. DACA doesn't really help you that much. If you had entered without inspection, the one thing that DACA would be nice was we could apply for advanced parole and send you back home and then back in, and that would be a valid entry for purposes of adjustment, so you wouldn't need to get a waiver. But you can and should file right away. You're just fine. DACA doesn't help you or hurt you. You're just good to go.
Okay, and then just some other quick factors here. So we are both a same-sex couple. We're
Yeah.
interracial, so I'm a Mexican national. He's a Black American.
Cool.
Do you have a sense of the likelihood of getting called in for an interview at the LA field office?
I think well, so first, so a couple things. I don't think so much based on the same-sex nature or the biracial nature. I think more on the 30 years nature is they're probably gonna want to talk to you. And
Okay.
one of the things, and are you nervous about that? I mean, this case, you're gonna win this case. 4 years together. I mean, I would love to handle this case. It'd be a hell of a story to talk about getting someone out of being out of status for 30 years. But my question is, the one thing that always comes up, and I don't know, well, I mean, you haven't used your name on here, so it might not be that big a deal, but whenever someone's been in the United States for as long as you have without status, the one thing, there's a couple things they like to focus on. One is any false claims to U.S. citizenship for a loan, student loans, student enrollment, taxes, anything where you're worried about having made a false claim to being a U.S. citizen.
Right. And I do remember that question. So we entered in no because there really hasn't been any claims to
Great.
citizenship before.
Okay, good. And then earnings and taxes and all that stuff. Just be sure that you're squared away on that.
Okay, great. Yeah, I feel pretty confident about that. I think
Cool.
if they do ask me a question, it'll likely be about, the time I graduated high school up to the time I got DACA. I was in a volunteer internship and was working for my dad for a short period of time there.
Cool.
One more question, Jim. If we do get an interview notice, how much time do we get between the interview notice and the actual interview normally?
4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Hey, I have a little bit of good news for you. So our friend Robert, who we actually handled Robert's wife's case, he said his wife was DACA since 2012 and she had been out of status since 99, so 20 years. No interview, and they did it all in the LA office. So that was
Awesome.
So there you go.
And what's your experience with the LA office? If you
I
have
love
experience
it
with it.
I love it there. It's one of my favorite places to go. They're pros.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I think that covers all my questions. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to episode number 500. Really excited about that.
Even though we're not going to have belly dancing?
I think that'll be all right.
Thanks so much. Good luck with everything. Let us know when you get your green card. We'll be happy, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks, Jim.
See you, bud. All right. What a nice caller that was. All right, Harris is here. What do you say, Harris? Harris is fixing the ceiling, fixing the window.
Hey, how you doing, Jim?
I'm good, buddy. How you been?
I've been all right, man. I just got some specific question I want to ask you and see what's going on, if you can help me out with it. So I received an email to get my medical done for my I-485 based on refugee more than a year ago. My case is in the LA office. Excuse me about that. So, but I didn't receive the medical request, and the deadline was passed. They sent it to my old address. So based off that, they reject the case, saying due to the fact I didn't turn in my medical and on time. So I have filed an appeal to I-29B, whatever, 290B. I filed it for ask them to reconsider it because the mistake was on their side. I provide every documents and copy the time I get my address changed, the date and everything, and they approve it that the address was changed, but they still send them to the wrong address. And due to the fact I didn't receive it and decided to reject the case, so and now I put in a motion to reconsider. And
when did you file that 290B? When did you file that?
I say about almost a month ago, and they receive it on the 17th and put it in the 16th, say that they receive it. They receive my correspondence, they're just reviewing it.
So remind me, do refugees have to pay the filing fee for a 45? I can't remember.
No, I did it with the fee waiver and it was proof.
Okay, so you came as a refugee, you waited more than a year, and then you applied for your green card, and then they sent you an RFE for your medical. You never got it. They denied your case, and then you went ahead and filed a motion to reopen.
No, motion to reconsider.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Did you have to pay a filing fee for that?
No, I have a waiver to the same thing, and they approve it.
Okay. If you had asked me before, Harris, I probably would have said just file a new I-45 with the medical. I think it'll be
Why?
faster because I think it'll be faster.
Oh,
290Bs go into outer space, and you're lucky. You're
oh,
lucky if you hear back 2 years later. That's why.
huh?
Yeah, dude.
Jesus Christ! Wow.
um,
But but
how
but
long?
Jim,
How long was your 45 pending?
for the 2 years.
2 years. I don't know. What do I know? Maybe your 290B will get approved tomorrow, but I mean, we get a lot of people complaining, wondering, can I sue on 290Bs? I like to sue on 290Bs when they take 2 years, but I hope yours doesn't take 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because no, the mistake come from them, James, and I even sent the copy, the date that I update my address, and they accept update in the system. But whoever decided to send it to the wrong address, I don't know how they did that. But the mistake wasn't on my fault. So I read everything down Pacific and explained to them, and then let them send copy of the date that I changed the address, everything.
I just think it's faster. It's easier to get them to just approve a new green card application than it is to get them to admit that they made a mistake, even if it was their mistake.
So you think if I do it, you think that because they waived my interview. So now if I refile again, nothing you can try to coming back in coming in for interview.
Well, it sounds like they don't want to interview you. They're ready to give you a green card without an interview. So I think if you I mean, there's a couple of different ways to think about it. If you reapply, I think you probably won't have an interview. But at the same time, if you win your motion to reopen, they might send it back down to your local field office, and then they might interview you. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. I just would do what I think
Is
the
that
best.
is that the field? Is that the? I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I would file a new 45 tomorrow.
Okay. All right, Jim. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I love your show.
See you, man.
You know, you actually helped me out to go through my process. So thank you. Have a good day, brother.
You too, man. Thanks so much. Man, I love calls like that. I love nice people. I love talking to nice people. I love talking to people. I mean, Dammy's right. He goes, oh, he was like, that was like just a kick in the nuts. So sorry about that. But yeah, those 290Bs, those are rough, man. Those are, I mean, if we made a hierarchy of shit that USCIS ignores, like, okay, this would be a good video or a good TikTok or something, but shit that USCIS ignores. They ignore 290Bs. They ignore 601s and 601As waivers. You know, they ignore, I mean, frankly, sorry to tell you guys, I think they oftentimes ignore fiance cases, right? So there we go. So Aster's been trying to get in. Let's see what Aster has to say. Hello, Aster.
Hi.
How you doing?
I mean, Michelle. Oh, I'm trying to hang in there. Thanks for asking.
What can I help you with?
So I have a marriage-based case. I'm being petitioned by my husband, who's a lawful permanent resident, and we
Where
filed
are you? Where are you in the world? Are you in the United States or are you outside?
adjustment of status. So I'm already inside.
Awesome. And you were in status at the time you filed?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
So my question is, we already had our interview in May of 2023, and we are waiting for a decision right now. But he's been threatening me with divorce, and he's been using my immigration status against me in many cases. And he has already commenced a divorce process. So I like to know if what are the next steps from here? Like, is there if I get approved before the divorce is finalized, am I going to have any trouble in the future?
Yeah, probably, but you should still hope that you get that green card because if he withdraws the I-130, you're in real trouble. Has there been any kind of abuse, Aster?
He's been using my immigration status against me a lot. Like, he has it hung over my head very often lately. Like, he would tell me if I don't do this, he would pull my application. He's been saying that a lot now. As far as I know, he hasn't done it, but he has been doing it a lot lately.
How long has you said you already had your interview?
Yes, interview was in May of 2023.
And when you how did the interview go?
It was okay. I don't know if it went great. We were able, because we were still happy and together at that time, so we were able to answer a lot of questions about our relationships.
Did they separate you?
No, together.
What field office?
San Fernando Valley in California.
Okay, so since then things went south, and he filed for divorce. I mean, it's unusual. So they didn't approve the I-130 or the 45. Well, I
They
guess
have not approved
the
anything.
45 they can't approve. What's the filing date of the 485?
What was the question again?
What's the filing date on what's the receipt number on your I-130?
So they were both concurrently filed in June of 2022.
June of 2022. Okay, so right now in the final action date. So right now there's a backlog on the ability of USCIS to approve and issue a green card. They're working on cases right now. The final action date. Do you know about the visa bulletin? Do you know how that all works?
Yeah, I know that. I know they can't approve me right now because of the backlog.
Yeah, so if he filed for divorce, I think that case is over.
But even if it has not been finalized?
Well, I think the question is, the green card will be over. The green card, they won't be able to issue the green card for 3 more years, and I think the divorce will take place before then.
So it's going to take that long even if I'm already in the US?
Yeah, that doesn't change. It's just a bunch of people in line ahead of you, both overseas and in the United States, but that doesn't change. USCIS can't issue a green card to you probably for at least another 3 years. Those aren't even moving very fast, so it could be even longer than that. And if the divorce is final, then the I-130 is not approvable, and the 485 cannot be approved. So then we have to ask, is the verbal threats not accompanied by any physical violence going to amount to a VAWA case? I think that's a tough case. It's a tough case.
Okay. I actually talked to one of your lawyers and he said I might have a shot. So
That's what I would say. I would probably agree with that. I didn't know you had called the office today. I can look at the notes and talk to the lawyer, and we can see if I'm sure that if you talk to one of our lawyers, they would want to try to help you. I just would want you to understand that it's a long shot based on the facts that you've told me so far. But let me talk to them, and then we can follow up. Okay, Aster?
Okay. I'm using a fake name right now, but you could look up my last name.
Okay. If you talk to someone today, Julio will be able to find you.
I talked to Matthew.
Matthew. Okay. Perfect. Okay. We're on it. We'll get a hold of you probably early next week. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. That sucks. Yeah. That's a real dangerous time when the I-130 is on file. The U.S. citizen or the green card holder petitioner can really cause a lot of problems. And frankly, I haven't really come across since the visa availability retrogressed and these cases all went to, 4-year delays. I haven't really thought through all the different ways that plays things out, but that fact pattern sort of laid it out for us, because we have to think about, well, if they can't even issue the green card for 4 years and he's already filed for divorce, that's a different kind of analysis than we're used to when everything is current and humming along. All right. Our old friend is here. Hello, my friend. Mute. You're on mute.
How you doing, Mr. Jim?
Okay, now, first of all, we have to make sure we understand how to pronounce your name, because I've been saying it wrong. So say it slowly for me so I can hear you.
First of all, I have 2 first names, which is in my documents. Is Temitope Joseph. So everybody Joseph, but Temitope. But Temitope is okay with me because I know the syllable is a little kind of hard for people to pronounce, but that is fine.
Awesome. What can I help you with?
Yeah, thank you so much. I have only 2 questions. The first one is that I wanted to know how many months now, if somebody filed for the true asylum, they filed for the working authorization, it took like how many months?
If they apply after they apply for work authorization from filing asylum, how long after they file will it take till they get their work card?
Yeah.
I don't know, 5 or 6 months, maybe 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. So, what if someone was cancellation in the asylum and refiling back the asylum? So, is it same process to get the work permit?
Wait, what happened? They filed for asylum, and then what happened to that case?
I think that my friend that he filed for the asylum, then they refer him to court. Then on getting to the court, after the former lawyer, I think he messed up with his payment, whatever. So he's trying to maneuver with the case. Then he got another lawyer. Then another lawyer said they have only 1 month to prepare that they cannot win that case. Then they went for the lawyer went for the cancellation of the case that he will refile it again.
So then he refiled. Yeah, I would say it'll be the same time frame. Your friend has had work authorization already before in the past?
Yes.
Yeah, so they have to wait 5 months to apply, and then it'll probably be 3 or 4 months before it'll be approved. 3 or 4 or 5 months, something like that.
Yeah, the lawyer is already I think this thing happened December. Then March is already filed after they received the receipt of the asylum. Then after how many days you have to wait? 180 days. Then he filed for the working authorization. So he was asking why is he delay like that. So that's why I said, okay, let me ask.
That's a confusing immigration history, so it probably just slows everything down.
Oh, okay. So in the second one, what things that is good in legal way to get green card nowadays? Because I saw many questions going on in this. We are asked like if somebody wanted to come here, what are the proper way to start all over from back home?
What country?
From Nigeria.
So Nigeria, that means no diversity visa, right? So diversity visa, they're not eligible, people from Nigeria. How old is this person?
35.
So are they done with school?
Yeah. But
so
it's not done with the master degree though.
So one thing would be to apply for a student visa to come to the United States. I think the best way is to come on a student visa and then get OPT and then try to get a work visa off that. I think that's your best bet. If you don't have family here to sponsor you, I think the idea that an employer would sponsor you for an employment-based green card, it's almost not going to happen just because they don't know you and it's really expensive.
So you should come with a student. Okay.
But it's hard when you're 30. It's hard when you're 31, right?
Say again?
When you're 31, it's less likely to be approved because they think you're coming just to hang out, not to really go to school.
Oh, okay. But when the person is like 35, is very good.
Well, it'd be better if they're 25, is what I'm saying. It's better if they're 25.
25. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So what are we expecting on the 500?
You're going to come, right? You got to come on.
Yeah, sure.
All right. We'll have you on. Yeah, I don't know. We'll do something. Maybe we'll play a game or something. We'll do all kinds of fun stuff.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. One love.
Temi Tope. See you, buddy. Temi Tope. See you, bud. All right. We got it. Why? Did you see? We got it. All right. Sammy's here. Hello, Sammy. Sammy, are you there? All right. Sounds like Sammy's driving. All right. I don't see anybody in the waiting room. Anybody in the waiting room comes on camera, I'll pull you up. Let me see you. Roki, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, Roki.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. So I came to the United States on 2016 with a B1, B2 visa.
Okay.
I overstayed my visa, got married on December 2022, and filed my paperwork on April 2023.
Okay.
And got my conditional green card on September 2023 without interview.
Congrats.
So, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So, is it safe now for me to travel overseas by myself to my home country for 40 days and come back. And I want to ask you, like, what is the right to an immigrant with a conditional green card when he arrived to the border, and just in case CBP give him like maybe hard time or can be detained for anything? Do you think then they can send him back to his home country? Because I read online some people, the CBP, they let them sign a form I-407.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
I'm not telling you that I did something bad. I'm just asking you to educate myself and know my right with a new immigrant with conditional green card.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
I did a video on this on TikTok the other day. I wanted to find it. I wanted to find it for you, but here's what I said. So
right.
someone on this show and also someone in our office. So my wife handled a green card case for a guy from I think Slovenia. He was from Slovenia, right? And so he was in the United States for a long time, out of status. Then he went back home, but then he got married to a U.S. citizen. He got his green card. We filed the case, and we got him the green card. About 2 months later, we get a call. He's trying to re-enter in Chicago, and CBP is looking at his phone, and they figured out that he had been texting the fake wife and totally admitted on his phone that the marriage was fake. Now, this beautiful lady right here, my wife Amani, she handled that case. She was so pissed at the client for lying to us. And so they revoked his green card, and they made him sit in jail for like 4 days. And then they had to then he had to pay for a one-way ticket at the highest price, and he lost his green card.
So you mean he was married in his home country?
No, he was here like you, out of status for a long time. He married a U.S. citizen. That U.S. citizen filed a green card case for him, but the whole case was fake. The marriage was fake. They weren't in love. He paid her to get him the green card, but it all came out on his phone when he came through customs. Right?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Then like 3 weeks ago, someone came on the show and told me the exact same story just happened to him.
Okay.
So I made a TikTok about that, or I made a YouTube. I don't remember which. I can't find it right now. Must have been YouTube. But in any event, you have asked the exact right question. And the question is, Jim, am I going to trigger a fraud alert if I go back home to my home country right after I got my conditional green card, after having been out of status for 7 years, and I go without my wife or my spouse? That's the problem. The problem is going without your spouse.
Because she is not from the same country, and to go to my home country, she needs a visa. That's why, and it takes time to get the visa.
So what I think the government's perspective is, boy, if you really love that person, you want them to go back and meet your family too, and you'd be willing to wait to get her a visa to go, and you're only going by yourself because that whole thing was fake, and we don't believe this marriage, and now we're going to attack it. I mean, this is something immigration is doing over and over again.
Okay, understood. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna wait and try to get her visa and try to go together to see my family.
You mean I'm not going to go until she gets her visa? That's what you mean?
Yeah. All right.
Bye, Roki.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye. All right. Amir is here. Hello, Amir.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So I'm back. It's probably my third time talking to you. I have a question for you. It might be a bit like challenging. I'd like to ask you to do a prediction based on your experience.
Okay.
So I'm considering that Trump becomes the next president, and I'll be in the United States on H-1B visa.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to see that, like, based on his presidency in like previous years, what would happen to me if I want to like change my job, or if my H-1B visa status like it's going to end soon.
So are you on your second H-1B?
It's like my first H-1B, I've not already entered US. I'm already in Canada and waiting for visa. And also, I forgot to mention that I'm originally from a majority
Iran.
Muslim country.
Yeah. Okay. So let's back up. So right now you've been approved for an H-1B, but you haven't used one day of your H-1B.
I have not yeah, I have used my H-1B. Like it started from October 1st, but unfortunately I'm in administrative processing.
Oh, right. Okay. I know how that goes. Okay. So let's say that administrative processing ends and let's just say you come to the United States January 1st of 2024, inshallah, right? 2024, you're here. So just to make life easy. The only problem you're going to have to worry about at that point, once you're in, is if you have to leave the United States. And I mean, I guess if you're outside the United States, you're going to get a stamp now, and it'd probably be good for 3 years, hopefully. But they might just give it to you for 1 year. So if you have to leave the United States, if Trump comes in office, it's going to be 1 year after you enter. So that whole first year, you're going to be fine. If he comes into office, there's not much he can do about your H-1B. He can't unilaterally terminate all H-1Bs. He can't. I mean, he might try to do stupid shit. Like, remember when he wouldn't let people from Muslim countries come into the United States? If you're not here by the time he gets into office, that would be a problem. Okay. But if you're here and you're safe, I don't think there's much he can do. And I think you'd be on a track to get a green card. And as long as you don't leave the United States, you could stay on that track, assuming you find the employer that wants to sponsor you for a green card and all that stuff. I don't think there's much that he or his. Now they say he's going to appoint like all these people to all these, like they're vetting people right now, just like the Nazis, like all the people who love Trump and are willing to throw out the rule of law. And, they want to appoint more judges who are just going to disregard the Constitution, disregard the law. This isn't Jim saying this. This is Jim. This is Trump's people. This is what our plan is. We made a mistake last time Trump was president by letting traditional Republicans be in our administration. We want the true believers, the ones who think Trump stole the election, the ones who were encouraging people to storm the Capitol on January 6th. That's who he wants to put into office now. But assuming that, there'll still be lawyers, there'll still be laws, there'll still be judges. It's going to be scary as fuck if that happens. But that's if you're here in the country, I think you're going to be okay.
Okay. And I also have a second question. It's also related to like the situation that Trump is president. So I already have an approved EB-2 application. Like my priority date is not current. So I'm considering that if I enter United States by like before his presidency, so if I can get my green card like before his inauguration, that would be great. But what if I cannot get my green card by that time, right? So I think it takes time for like applying adjustment of status. Well, one scenario might be that I initiated my adjustment of status, and another scenario is that like my priority date is not still current, but he has inaugurated as the president. So I'm just wondering whether, like, based on what happened in the past years, he's able to cancel those petitions that have been approved by USCIS.
I think that's the one thing that I'm trying to tell people. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that can happen. I think like people ask me, like I've had same-sex couples say to me, "Hey Jim, if Trump comes into office or if Congress, outlaws gay marriage again, can I lose what I have?" I think it's much more that the people coming after you are the ones who are going to be harmed the most. I think the people who are here, who are already in processes under statutes that already exist, under interpretations that already exist, I think that's going to be really where those people are going to be protected. But it's, the executive branch has a ton of discretion, as we learned during the first 2 years of Trump, in who they let into the United States. So that whole protect the border and all that shit, that's something where the president actually has a lot of power, right? And they've pushed it as far as they could, and they're going to try to push it all over again. And now they have 160 federal judges that they've appointed, and at least the back half of those, like the first half of Trump's appointees, were like traditional Republicans that regular people would consider decent to be a judge. But like this judge who has his case down in Miami for the Mar-a-Lago in Florida, that judge, everyone like voted against and said she shouldn't be. Most rational people said she shouldn't be a federal judge. So he's just going to have more and more of those kind of people who just do whatever he says. So all that being said, I think it's going to be really hard for people to not get the protections that they're supposed to get. Like if you're on a path, I think the path will continue if you are physically inside the United States.
Okay. That's great to know. Thank you so much for all the information. I appreciate it.
Bye, Amir. See you, buddy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Well, people are worried about Trump already. And of course, if you're from a predominantly Muslim country, as Amir was, that's a smart thing to be worrying about. And especially if you're trying to knock on the door and get in, I understand. Let's say hi to Briz. Hi, Briz.
Hi. Good evening. I got a question. I was married in 2017, and I got my divorce from my wife in officially got divorced last month, but I got my citizenship in June of last year. But the problem now is that I have a daughter out of wedlock. My daughter was born last year. She's with the mom, and I'm trying to have my daughter come visit me here, not to come live with me here, just to come visit. Do you think she has a case of getting a visa to come down here?
So let's back up a little bit. So first of all, did you list this child on your N-400, or was she after you became a citizen?
After I became a citizen.
Okay. And would you have known of the baby mama's pregnancy at the time you went to your naturalization interview?
No.
Did you apply for naturalization on the 3-year rule or the 5-year rule?
I'm in the military, so I don't know what stance they give to me.
Say that again?
I'm in the army. I'm in the military.
Oh, in the army. Okay. Okay. So there's never been an application that you've filed with the government where they asked if you had any children,
No.
and she was an alive person.
No.
Okay. How old is she?
She's 1+ now.
Okay. So the question, and what country would she be applying for a visit visa from?
Nigeria.
Okay. And her mom is okay with her coming to visit?
Yes, sir.
So if you applied for a visit visa for her, then presumably the mom would go to the visa interview with her, or you would?
The mom would go with her.
And then how would the child get to the United States?
So I was thinking if she and her mom can apply for a visiting visa, if they will likely get it. I don't know, because I know it's hard to get like a B1, B2 visa from Nigeria. So that's what I was thinking.
It's hard just to get a goddamn interview for that, right? Like even if you apply. So wait, I want to go back to one thing. So if you applied on the 3-year rule, so when did you apply for citizenship?
So I was in basic. That should be in I think January. I think it should be in January of 2022.
So did you get your citizenship
December of 2021.
Did you get your citizenship because you were in the army or because you were married to a U.S. citizen?
I got my citizenship because I was in the army.
Okay. And were you separated from your spouse at the time that the baby was conceived?
No.
Okay. So like you went back home and the lady got pregnant?
Yes, sir.
I would say, Briz, that I would want to look at everything, do a timeline, and figure it out. But I think generally, in answer to your question, I mean, 10% I'm worried about, is this going to help? Is this going to make Briz's citizenship unravel? I'm not that worried about it, but it's something that we need to think about. In answer to your question, do I think the kid's going to get a visit visa? Probably not anytime soon. Because they're gonna want to know if you're going to sponsor that mother or the baby mother. Like they're gonna look they're not gonna believe she's coming back to Nigeria, I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay.
And that's the whole shoot match on a visit visa. Do we believe the applicant is going to come back to the home country?
What about if someone else, like my mom, comes visit with the baby?
Yeah, I mean, you can try to get the visa. You can try. I just don't know what they might think that you're just going to keep the kid here.
Okay. That was what I was
And thus jump the line, right?
Yeah.
Because you could file. You're a U.S. citizen. You could file an I-130 for them right away.
Yeah.
And then they just stay. So you would have to do a really good job of convincing them that the kid's coming for 3 weeks with her grandmother or his grandmother, and that this is like you have the tickets and this is going to be something that we do every year. And oh, by the way, did I say I'm in the military? Oh, by the way, did I say I'm in the military? Oh, by the way, did I say I'm in the military? Please help me out here. It's an interesting question.
Okay. Because right now the mom, I'm not ready to I'm not getting married to the mom. I just want the child to come visit once in a while.
Yeah,
So that's what I was just thinking. And I know that I thought about it, that they will raise those suspicion, like, oh, he might just file for their petition them to stay back here.
Yeah.
But that's not in the question right now. All right. Thank you very much.
Bye, Briz. See you, buddy. All right, everybody, that'll do it for today's show. Here's Vadim. Vadim will be here on the 15th for the party. I already added Vadim to the guest list, so hopefully Vadim will agree to come on the show that day. Rosio's in charge of the guest list, so reach out to Rocio if you want to come on. No show tomorrow. Two other things. One, the show will be on Sunday, probably around 11 a.m. Yep, thank you, Huli. Go ahead and text the word show to 314-470-3300 if you have questions about that. And people are saying that the baby might be a U.S. citizen. That baby might be a U.S. citizen. I'd have to think about it and do some research and check everything out. Out of wedlock's a little bit different, but I'd have to check. And I'm tired, and it's the end of a very, very long week. How about that? The other thing I was going to say is Noor is back in charge. My daughter Noor, who we'll have on the show, she's our director of TikTok. She's back in charge, and whenever I hit 1,000 new subscribers, she gets $100. So help her out and go follow us on @ImmigrationHacking, and we'll go from there. I hope you all have a great weekend, a great Friday night, Saturday, and I'll see you on Sunday, probably around 11. We'll see. Good seeing you, everybody. Had fun being with you. Bye, guys.